Hey, everybody. Good to see Angela. Hey, Edward, Robert, Maleficent, Drake, Greg, Pale Prince. Good to see you guys this afternoon. It's afternoon for me. It just turned afternoon. It is good to see you guys. So what is the goal today? The goal today, the goal today, I assume everybody can hear me. We are streaming. We're not messing up like we did the other day where I was streaming just to myself. Hey, London, Leif. So what we're doing today, do you have any videos about designing weapons and spells? Spells are pretty hard. I might. Edward would know better, I think. So what we're doing today, we're going over the GM guide, and I'd like to finish it today, if possible, so that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I can wrap up the last 3 or 4 class zines. Probably it's going to be today and tomorrow. We're going to wrap up the GM guide, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll wrap up, hopefully, the rest of the things. But what we're working on today is the GM guide, getting that up to speed, making some updates and tweaks and layout improvements and that kind of thing. Oh, we're on, catching it live for once. All right, glad you could make it. Random, thank you so much. Yeah, please like the video, guys, so that other people can find it. So let's go ahead and get right to it. So I'm trying to. So late last night, I was doing some streaming, and we did a last minute sort of reorganization of the GM guide, and I think I really like it. And we'll go over that in just a second. Let me just get this situated first. Okay. Okay, yeah. So like you see how this whole page was like 12 different elements or something. So we'll fix all of that. Just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna pull all these things away. Just make sure. So it's just way easier having everything on one frame. Okay. So some tweaks that I've made so far. You, as a GM, so the GM guide is talking to the GM. So I'm going to say you as a GM control the monsters during combat. Monsters do not. So making that all caps in bold, because that was a question that came up a lot. So we're not making a change, but we're improving the visibility and the clarity of the rules. Monsters do not have 3 actions like heroes, nor do they use heroic actions or reactions. They only move, use the actions listed on their stat block, and their turn ends. Monsters die when they reach 0 hit points. While most monsters are unarmored, some creatures are tougher to take down. Medium armor, just the dice. Monsters with medium armor, M. And we could probably do this. I'll just go ahead and put the icon there for the thing. There you go. Monsters with medium armor. And then we can take that down just a little bit. Ignore all damage modifiers from stat blocks. See, there we go. Look at that. We're adding some cool stuff here to make it easier and better. Isn't that better? Isn't that better already, you guys? And I think we can tweak the color of this, of just this one. Yeah. Oh, I have to add the hit points to the goblin. Hit points of the goblin. Oh, it's no longer there. I think it's 12 or 15. Let's see, how many hit points does a goblin have, you guys? Let's go to the book. So what I like so much about the GM guide is that it's useful. You know, it sounds like I'm patting myself on the back. I guess I am, but like when I am making monsters, I have the GM guide open. I go to the table and I use the table and I use the charts that are there because like that is what the actual math of the game is built on. When I'm making an encounter, I use the tools that are actually there because like they're useful. They're actually useful. So I don't know. I kind of like that. I like having them be that way. Okay, icons, we'll go to edit this. Basic character formats, character color, 70%. What if, would it be cool to have hit points red? Would that be cool? Just sort of clicked it on accident, but kind of like it. Kind of don't hate it. All right, so let's go here. Let's make that a little bit lighter color. Change the tint to 70. Okay, monsters with heavy armor ignore damage modifiers and take only half the sum of the dice. Okay, tell your players when a monster has armor, it shouldn't be a secret. Regular goblins are unarmored. That goblin, he's holding a shield. He has medium armor. So he has medium armor. A golem that's completely made out of metal? You guessed it. Heavy armor. Dealing with armor, here's critical. It's already read through that. Monster hero. Okay. Unless otherwise noted, assume that monsters are medium-sized, unarmored, have speed 6, can replace an attack to move again, or replace either one of those to retry a save. Attacks have reach 1 and roll 1d20 for all saves. Though some monsters may have advantage or disadvantage saves or checks when appropriate. Easy enough. This stat block for a goblin serves as an example. No speed, armor, or saves are listed, so we use the defaults. If he ever takes a total of 15 or more damage, he'll die. Has a level of 1-3, means 3 goblins are about as strong as a level 1 hero. And on the goblin's turn, the GM could move him up to 6 spaces and stab or shoot in either order. Whenever an attack misses him, his special ability triggers. And this should be a 2 here. Flunkies and minions. And let's actually add, the, let's add like the key thing here. Let's see how you guys are doing. Red HP would be cool. The faded dark red looks great. Should we do that, guys? Why did you remove the damage modifier for the goblin's damage? Because we increased their ability damage just to sort of push them a little bit in that sort of direction. It's fine. The medium and heavy armor icons being more differentiated shades would be sick. It's hard to see. Well, the big M is what differentiates it, I think. And I think this should be 60%. Yeah. So let's. The big M or the big H sort of is what is the key there. Yeah, you got to tell the players. Otherwise, they're adding the modifiers, and then you have to subtract it out. And so instead of saving a step, it's taking two additional steps. Yeah, so this is for regular monsters. Legendary monsters are different. They appear a little bit further down in the book. Okay, so let's add. So we have medium armor here. Okay, let's add HP. Monsters hit points. And let's do this. Not that. Not that. Character styles. All right, so we'll type it later. it's going to be AR is okay. Okay, so if I do mv is move, we do this, bam. And I'll tweak the font size just a bit. Okay, is there anything else? We need an icon for saves, if like a monster has a special save or something, maybe. We should probably... No, we don't want to make the font huge. We just want to increase the indentation. There we go. We'll increase the line height. Here we go. We can move this one down just a smidge. Let's see how everybody's doing. There was a discussion on why Nimble uses advantaged hit die rolls when leveling up instead of a flat number. If you'd like, could you talk about the thought process there? If not, no biggie. Yeah, we can talk about the thought process there. So let's go to the dice. Let's go to the camera. Let's go to the camera. Okay, so let's say we have a D10 hit die. Let's say we're a commander and we've got a D10 hit die. Okay, so if you roll one die, there's a good chance that you're just going to get a 2. So why is everything at level 1? So everything at level 1 is like you just start with this thing. You don't roll for hit points at level 1 because you don't roll for gold. You don't roll for hit points. Like at level 1, everything is just sort of given to you, and you just start at level 1 that way. Because a lot of people they want to make their characters on their own. And if you're playing with people that you don't know, you don't want the one guy who says like, "Oh yeah, I rolled like 3 18s on my level 1 character stats. I rolled it at home, like nobody was there, nobody could feed. Oh yeah, I totally rolled like 3,000 gold, so like I started out with this magical sword, so like that kind of stuff can happen. So it just slows things down for character creation for session 1 or session 0, and then like the GM has to be a bad guy. Like now you actually got to roll here, and then they roll like you know terrible, and then they're mad at you, and like they don't want to play anymore. So like you want to avoid all that kind of stuff. So variance is fun. Variance within certain limits is fun. So if the variance was you could roll 1 hit point or 100 hit points, that's too much variance. With 100 hit points, you have way more hit points than anybody else. Like everybody else has like 12 or 20, and you have 100. Like that just it does. By comparison, everybody else will have less fun because you have so many hit points. Just like if one of my kids gets a donut, the other 2 kids are unhappy. But if nobody got a donut, everybody's happy. There's that kind of stuff happening. So starting at level 1 is flat, just so that you can it can speed up the process of making a new character. You don't have to roll a bunch of things. You could just do it. You could do it at home too, and there's not any questions or doubts or anything like that. So why do daggers roll a d4 instead of just dealing 2.5 damage all the time? Because like the variance of the d4 is fun. But too much variance, if you only get 1 attack per turn and you're going to miss 25% of the time, well, that's a little bit less fun, right? So what if you get 2 attacks? Well, then the variance becomes like the variance is much more manageable, right? So you at least have 2 shots of getting a good result. There's a small chance that you'll roll 2 ones, and if you do, like that could be a funny story moment, or maybe the GM can like give you a cool magical item later in the future, or something to make up for it. So rolling dice is fun. So rolling dice, so like there's this fun zone of rolling dice is fun. There's a reason why we have like so many of these dice. So rolling dice is fun. Rolling too many dice is not fun. Not rolling dice is not fun, usually. So there's this band in the middle where it is fun. So let's say we are a commander, and there's like we don't want like I don't want my commander to like two times in a roll to roll a 1 or a 2. So like he no longer will function the way that you expect if he rolls a 1 or a 2 or like a 3 and a 2, like for 2 levels up in a row. So to mitigate some of that variance, we roll with advantage. So during playtesting, where I was toying with, you can add your strength to each roll or whatever, but like then like the floor was way higher and the ceiling was higher and the floor was even lower. So it sort of leaned into the unfun elements of it, just because strength is a stat. Not everybody wanted to have strength. So if I roll 2d10, so I got an 8 and a 9. Okay, so like both of those are good. Let's just do a couple of rolls. Let's level up a couple of times. So okay, so we got a 4 and a 4. Okay, like 4, like that's a decent, like pretty much average roll. Like sometimes you'll get a 4, sometimes you got a 9, and it sort of averages out. We have a 2 and an 8, right? So the fun with this is that I see that I rolled a 2, but I get to keep the 8, like 8 hit points. Like that's huge, right? But if it was just this, like it's right? But if it's this, like the chances of this happening, or like a 2 and a 1 is relatively low. The rolling with advantage mitigates the floor. Like it's still possible to roll very, very low, but it's way less common. And and over the course of 10 or 20 levels, it's like so uncommon that you would roll multiple 1s in a row over multiple levels that it basically doesn't happen, right? So for every time you roll like 2 1s, you're going to be rolling 2 10s on average. Also, you're going to be rolling like very, very well. So let's just let's make a little chart, you guys. Let's make a little chart. Let's go here. Let's just do a quick unscientific test. Why not? Let's do a quick unscientific test since we're hanging out. Let me see if I can add properties, window capture, illustrator, numbers, untitled 12. There we go. Can you guys see it? There we go. There we go. All right, unscientific test. So let's just roll normal for the first time. So let's go up to level 1 equals this plus 1. And we'll just go to level 1 to 20. And then this is going to be the total. All right, so level 1, we got a 6. Then we got a 9. 6, 9, 3, 1, 3, 1. So like you're feeling great at level 1 and level 2, and then level 3, we'll zoom in a little bit. Level 3, you're feeling terrible. At level 3, you're feeling terrible. 2, 7, 2, 7. So like here, you're way below the curve, which is just sort of kind of unfun. It's kind of unfun. Let's keep going. 8. All right, you're feeling better now. 8 and a 10. All right, guys. 8 and a 10. So it's very, very swingy. So we got a 3 and a 10. All right. So it averages out, but like each level just is just very, very swingy. So we got a 6 and another 10. 6. The dice giveth and the dice taketh. 9. That was almost a 1. 9 and a 1. 9, 1. See, we're averaging out. 4 and 5. 4 and 5. 9 and 2. 9 and 2. So like the variance doesn't feel bad if I'm rolling a bunch like right now. 7 and 5. Okay, and the total equals sum of these. Zoom up. Okay, so total is 117. Total of 117. Okay, now let's roll with advantage. Let's see how it feels. Okay, 4 and a 1, 4. 8 and a 4, 8. And I know we normally start with, whatever hit points. 9 and 3, 9. 3 and 4, 4. So far the lowest is 4. 1 and 3, all right, the lowest is 3, but hey, at least it's not a 1, right? 9 and 7, 9. 4 and 10, 10. 7 and 7, all right, solid. 9, 10, 10 and 5. 7 and 1, ooh, look, see, like, ah, man, I'm so glad I rolled advantage because I get a 7 instead of a 1. That's 6 hit points for free, you guys. Another 10, all right. 6 and 6. 5 and 1. We'll take the 5. 10 and 9. Ooh, man, that's spicy. Can I save one of those for the next level? 8 and 10. There it is, 8 and 10. 9 and 3. 9. 3 and 2. 3. 10 and 4. And then last one, we'll do 3 and 1. All right, so let's drag this over. Okay, so if we compare, we have a total of 117 and 146. So like I know the totals aren't going to be the same because like we're rolling with advantage, but let's just map out. Let's map out. Let's go to the computer. Let's map out how many of these turns were fun and how many of these turns or how many of these levels up were unfun. So rolling a 1 or a 2 is just like purely unfun. Okay, so let's go ahead and color this. We'll color it red because that level up was unfun. And these 3s, like it's not terrible. Like 3 is acceptable. Like it's a little bit of a downer, but not like a super big deal. So we'll go ahead and color those yellow maybe. And then like 8, 9, 10, let's color those. Let's color those green. 8, 9, 10. And again, of course, this is unscientific, but this is what we have. So if we zoom out just a bit, we get a better view of what's going on. So rolling with advantage, it brings the total number of hit points, the average number of hit points, up to a level of where we'd expect across the thing. But also it increases the ceiling, so it shifts sort of the average up to a fun level. So like there's 3 levels that were like, not terrible, but like it's within the variance. And there's none that were just unfun and miserable to roll. Like, oh man, can I try that again? And the GM says no, and like now you hate the GM. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So like, and we have like 30% more like fantastic. Oh, here's one I missed. We have 40% more fantastic level ups that like we're really excited about. So this is what we want to have, like a little bit of variance, just so that like, rolling a 10 only matters. Like rolling a 9 or 10 is only exciting if it's possible to roll a 3 or a 4. So like these 4s and 3s, they make these feel more fun. And like 5, 6, 7, like those are fine. Like those are fine. Like I'm not going to complain about rolling 5, 6, or 7. But like 8, 9, and 10, like those are so exciting. Those are so exciting only because I could have rolled a 1 or a 2 or a 3, right? So it does all the things that I want it to do. Like you could easily just like take the average +1 or +2 and like that'd be fine. But there's a reason why there are dice in this game, because dice are fun. So That was a long answer to a short question. So sorry about that, Edward. Great question. All right. I hope to have the GM guide finished today, tomorrow, and then the heroes is going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll be finishing up them, and then I'll release them. So and concurrently with that, I'm working on setting up the pledge manager, so that people can download the proper people can download those. Yeah, it's super easy to like. Oh, I don't want to roll. Can I just take 6 if my thing is D10? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. You could definitely do that. Yep, you get advantage with rolling hit points. Okay, guys, let's keep going. And let's scooch this one in a little bit. No. Can I just scooch just this part? I don't think I can. I'll update that in the font. I'll just have to update that in font. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Clear. No, I don't think so. Like, could there be an ability or something that could do that? Maybe. But no, probably not. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. So we added that, so we know what all the icons mean. You know what all the icons mean now. Okay, flunkies are like regular monsters. Are just like regular monsters, but with one key difference. They can't crit. This makes them ideal opponents for new or low-level heroes, offering a challenge without overwhelming them. Minions are low-threat monsters that are easy to kill individually, but dangerous in numbers. They have dynamic movement and excitement to battles without bogging down gameplay. Minions have no hit points to strike any damage kills a minion. Easy attacks. Each minion attacks with a single damage die, cannot crit, and misses on a roll of 1. When multiple minions attack a single target, their damage is combined and counts as a single attack, so heroes can defend or interpose against them all at once. Act together! If your heroes are facing down a pack of goblin minions, rather than moving them one at a time, all minions attacking a particular hero should move and attack at the same time. For example, 5 minions move next to Grudge and attack him. Roll and add up to 5d6, ignoring any ones. Fast and easy. Nice. Okay, that's how you run monsters. I think I could run some monsters. That's not so bad. That's not so bad at all. So one thing here, I was thinking about just removing this. You guys tell me what you think about this. So the first. This isn't actually the first one. This is the first one. So the first Nimble zine, where it was taking rules from 5e and like streamline changing things, it like all the rules could fit on like a page or two. But the reason why there's so many pages, and I say so many pages, like there's like just a handful of pages, most of it's art. So the reason why there's so many pages is because it was an argument. It was trying to convince 5e players why they should do it this way and why this way is better. So most of it was rhetoric and argument, like why this is better and why this works. So some of that remained in the first draft of Nimble, the standalone RPG. So a lot of that stuff a lot of the explanation stuff was moved to the creator's kit, because I don't need to know why it works this way. I just need to know that it works this way. So I'm thinking about maybe moving this Monster Armor versus Hero Armor note from here to the Creator's Kit, like explaining why it's this way. Because I don't need to know this in order to run monsters. Like it's an interesting design thing, but it's not a needed thing. It's not a rule that I need to know or remember in order to run it for the first time. So what do you guys think? Is this something that we should remove, or is this something that should stay here? Like this is nowhere as important as this, like how to run them quickly, and it's nowhere as important as this note, like tell your players. Yeah. What thoughts do you guys have? Ooh, what thoughts do you guys have about that? Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that too. I think that a better place for that is not the book for new GMs or people learning the system for the first time. The best place for that is, I think, the creator's kit. Like, ooh, I like this. I know the system out. I like it, but why do we do this instead of that? That's for the creator's kit. Like when you're ready to start making your own content, you know. So it's not that it affects the budget or the page budget. It's that for every additional word that's here that I don't need to have here, like raises the bar of a new GM just a little bit. So like if you open up a page and it's like a two-page spread of like a wall of text, like it's intimidating. But if it's like, you know, big page of art, that's cool, and like, ooh, I can be that monster. I can like do that. That's cool. So if it's like art and just like a small block of text, like, okay, this is a little bit this is a little bit less intimidating. Maybe I can do this. Like you got to put yourselves in the shoes of a new GM. Yeah, I could reference the creator's kit. Yeah, that's a good idea. You could reference the creator's kit. Get rid of it. I think London's right. London's right. No, you know what? Edward's right. Edward is right. Yeah, we don't really need that, but we'll keep it. I just needed someone to back me up, and having Edward and London back me up. What is it? Is it this? There it is. Add to creators kit. Bam. Not that. X paste. Paste. There we go. And the loom link. So when I'm getting feedback to when I'm giving feedback to creators, to artists and stuff, instead of like typing a bunch of feedback, I will like do a screen recording and like, you know, scribble on it and here, you know, changes, do this, you know, what about this? Have we thought about that? So that's what a lot of that is. Default monster stats. Let's have default monster stats first, and the stat block first, just because we need to see a stat block to know what in the world we're talking about. Then we'll add just a little bit of space beneath this, and we'll take down the space below this. Excuse me. So I'm just thinking about different layout things in my head. So I don't like having a like this callout box at the top of the thing, because then it doesn't like line up with things properly. So yeah, Edward is right. Remove it. London is always right. Yeah. Okay. 20-year-old GM. Yeah. Yep. been shunted. What do I think of feats? Yeah, every class has its own feats, and then there are some boons and things in the GM guide. Playing Cyberpunk with Nimble? That's cool. On Boundary VG, I can't change the skills like... yeah, reach out to the Boundary people on Discord. I don't know anything about it. I don't know. All right, so let's do this. I feel like this maybe should be up here. I think that this should probably be like the first thing you see. The monster's hit points, the monster's armor, the monster's speed. Speed 6. All right, so all of these are incorrect. Body first paragraph. Overwrite, no. Overwrite, 0. Okay, and then this should be body next paragraph. There we go. Then we should have a little bit of space here. Legendary bullets, simplify defense, act together. There we go. So I'm just trying to think of how to lay things out down here so that they make sense. And I can also add this is one of my favorite icons down here. I'm gonna add this guy. It's one of my favorite ones. I'm gonna add him down here. There's a little charming little icon. Tell your players. So this is inset note. Change that to an inset note. Bam. What? Why is it? Monster with heavy armor. I don't think we need to say rounding up because that was already one of the rules. Round in favor of the heroes. There we go. Then here we can add some space above. No, we can't add space above. How can I scooch this down? So like the problem is these little call out boxes. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna cut this call out box and scooch it down here. There we go. Just move the thing that was causing problems. There we go. That works. Nice. Okay, and now we have this cool little dude just hanging out here. We'll increase this to 14. Does anybody, any of you InDesign people, so up here, whenever I make a new text box, I always have to change this from 12 to 14. So I don't know how to change the default gutter width. I don't know how to change the default gutter width, so I just have to change it every time. All right, there we go. That looks like it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Chris, I'd love to see the same thing for various dice. How much should a D4 must do for all teams? Ooh, maybe. You would split flunkies and minions? Flunkies? I don't know, flunkies, they're sort of like simpler, easier monsters. I think that's okay. The mechanic is different, but I think Jeffrey. I think Jeffrey is fine. Jeffrey. Okay. All right. So let's go to. All right. So let's think about how we're organizing this. So starting as GM has to be first. Running monsters has to be next. Let's play. Okay, that's next then. Okay, and then we have some adventures. Teach you how to play as you play. And then after done with the adventure, let's adventure on. Let's keep adventuring. And I might tweak some of this art and stuff. So now we're building our own encounter. So here, all of the combat encounters were given. Cool. And we'll go through that again and tweak some stuff. But all the combat encounters were given. But now we're going to be making combat encounters on our own for the first time. So we need common encounter guidelines. We need to know how to fine tune the difficulty. We need to know how to make unique encounters. We need to know how to build our own monsters. Okay, so that makes sense. And here's a bunch of new monsters you can use. Okay, so all of that makes sense. All the order. Legendary monsters. Okay. We might want to have we might want to have a note on like Krog and Green Thumb how to run legendary monsters. I think it's okay having it afterward. I think that's okay. But we might want to have a note of like, hey, page 39. There's a legendary monster. There's how to run legendary monsters. Okay, legendary monster builder, and then we have a bunch of legendary monsters. And then advanced GM tools. It makes sense. Okay, so here, initially I had this skip it note. Because I had it earlier in the book, but if we just have it later in the book, we don't need to have it. We don't need to have it. Maybe we'll leave it just in case someone is like reading ahead. Maybe we could leave it. That might be fine. Okay, and then we have heroic vignettes and making your own adventures, and then compelling treasures, what to avoid. Yeah, that's good. Adventuring rewards. Well, we'll tweak all of these, and then we have the setting. Like here's some places you could adventure, settings and adventure stuff, and then 5e conversion. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with the. Hey, Derek, good to see you, man. When are we chatting about dungeoning rules, man? Let me know when you want to chat about dungeoning rules. Are we back home from GaryCon? You were on the plane last time we spoke. Yeah, so just doing some layout stuff. Right on. Okay, cool. You're gonna run Guarded Death for group friends. Oh, lucky friends. Will be updated. Will be updated with new stat blocks. Should I? The stat blocks are gonna be so the layout is being fixed, and I think Green Thumb, the final boss, is like a little bit overtuned, and Krog is a little bit overtuned. So I'm gonna fix that a little bit. But you could run it as is. You know, a bunch of people have. Yeah, happy to talk shop and walk you through all of this stuff and with whatever cool thing you're cooking up, man. I think it's gonna be sweet. The indentation between flunkies and minions is different. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, so just generally, first paragraph is not indented, and then second paragraph is. So that's how it's supposed to be. So like first paragraph, not indented. Second paragraph is just it saves more space than having a full line, full blank line. I'm happy with all of this. Let's do this page. Let's play. All right, so I just want to make sure everything is lined up with my guides now, since I have guides and we're not just freewheeling and dealing. So we have guides now. So since I see that we have guides and we have more space, I can make this art to take up just a little bit more of the space. So if I take down, I can squish this in a little bit until we run out of space. So there we go. We could squish it in. Let's see how much more we could squish it in. There it is. That's as far as we could squish it in. Somewhere around there should be okay. So we have a little bit more space to make this image wider. A beautiful piece of art by the inimitable Earl Land. Hey, Earl. All right, so let's grab this art. We will open it up, reveal in Finder, and let's take it into Photoshop. And I did learn that this was called a cenote, which I think is a cool name of a thing. Go to Illustrator, grab our thing. I don't have it open. Let me open up the file for my transparent thingies. Illustrator file. Is this it? There it is. All right. Let's grab one of these. Let's grab this middle one. That one looks pretty nice. What will happen if we just grab just a portion of it? Can I grab just a portion of it? Copy, paste, paste, smart object. Ooh, I can copy just a portion of it. Let's rotate it. Let's find a cool spot for it to go. I think here might be cool. And we can shrink it down so we have a little bit more fidelity. A little bit more cool stuff to work with. And you see how it's sort of like it starts off here and it sort of angles out a little bit. So we'll rotate it just a little bit so that the edge of the thing doesn't look like it's all wompled. There you go. So we have that, and we want it to end like roughly here, like just past this little vine, because here we have it just past the little vine. Scooch him over. Then we will do this. Make a new layer. Do that. Group it. And then we'll say create clipping mask. And we'll save it. We will save it as a, we'll save it as that. That's fine. And now in InDesign, we'll grab it, drag it in there. Bam. Now we have a cool little border. There we go. And let's rotate that, center it, do some scooching. All right. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Like a cool little texture. Is that an improvement, you guys? Feels like an improvement. Maybe we can add just like up here. It feels a little bit plain, so maybe we can add some of these little bits and bobs up there. So let's go into this group, duplicate this, and we will rotate it this way. Let's do a height, negative height. There we go. You see how we're adding just like a little bit of the streaky things here. Let's rotate that. There you go. Hey, Derek, are you going to PAX this year? Oh, I've been to cenotes in the Yucatan in Mexico. That's cool. Derek, I'm planning on going to PAX U if you're going. It'd be cool to hang out again, man. Preparing a session for my new party. I try to adapt Dragon Knight Spire Peak. Will it be some Manticore basic stats and Manticore monsters and more? Yeah, probably. But you could also just like grab a Manticore 5e. Just like grab, just like take the Manticore from 5e and just run it. Is there a monster? Is there a Manticore in Dragon of Ice Part Peak? Yeah, I mean there's not a lot to a Manticore. So let's grab this. I'll just make you one now if you want. I'll show you how easy it is. You just run it right out of the book, or oh no. Okay, so large. We don't care if it's monstrosity. We don't care if it's lawful evil. AC 14. Don't care about that. Initiative HP. Okay, has this many HP. We don't care about that. Don't care about that. It can fly 50. That's important. So I'll just get rid of all of this stuff. Language column, CR3. In a CR3, if we look in the GM guide, you guys, I might need you guys to remind me where we were after I'm done with this. A CR3 is going to be a level 6 or level 7. Okay, so level 6, large. Manticore, HP 68. Actions. And let's just double check. Level 6 or level 7. Yeah, it has 68 hit points. So yeah. It's intended to be level 6, dude. Multi-attack makes 3 attacks using Rend or Tail Spike in any combination. 3 attacks is a lot. So I might just make them. So level 6 creatures should deal 21 damage per round. So 2d10 plus 10 twice. Is it twice? No, 2d10 plus 10 just for 1 attack. Or it could be, he could just attack for 1d12 3 times. But like it's not, this is not a particularly interesting fight. So if you do this is just like the Manticore is not an interesting monster in 5e. It's a pretty boring monster. It's a bag of hit points, and it does this. So let's just do that. So Rend, 1d8 plus 3. Tail Spike, range. So the range is 100 or 200 feet. So like we'll just, so what is 100 divided by 5? 20. So we'll say 12 range, because like 12 is kind of the highest range in Nimble. Just so that things, like he's not, like it'd be super annoying if he was just like flying like as far away as he can and just hitting people with his tail spike. It'd just be an unfun encounter. Okay, I mean like it's not super interesting. So what would I do to make this better? And then it would do this 3 times. What would I do to make this better? So currently, like looking at the stat block, it's not super fun. But the best thing, if I'm a Manticore, is to be as far away as possible and just launching tail spikes at maximum range. But that is unfun. This is a TTRPG. Like the game matters. The game part matters. Let me see. You guys are saying things. yeah. No, Edward, really appreciate your support, man. Then I'm going to Origins, an icon, Gen Con, Gamehole Con, 50%, and PAX U. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think PAX in December is like going to be the first big con where I'm going to actually have stuff to sell and to show. So I think that's going to be the first one. Probably not going to Gen Con. I was thinking about it, but the family and I are traveling in the summer already, so. But yeah, I had my 15-minute meeting already today. Yeah, like I've never even heard of most of these conventions, so I'm definitely a newbie in the area. Okay, yeah, pick a player up and drop them. Yeah, that's always fun. Okay, so for me, I would want this to be a stronger attack. So, let's do 2d8 plus 6. Okay, so there's 2 of the attacks. So we can say this. So let's say this, then this. There we go. Okay, so you do a range attack and then you rend. Like, so little range attack, big melee attack. Because this one deals more damage. It should reward me for being in close, right? So like this is the same stats, the same attacks and stuff, but it's just a little bit easier. I don't have to worry about like what combination of which things I need to do and how many tail spikes have I used or whatever. Like, we don't have to do that. But can we make this a lot more interesting? Yes, but if you just want to run it as is, there you go. And then 2d8 plus 6 would be 9 plus 6 is 15 plus 5, 23. So it's dealing 23 damage. Let's see, level 6, 21. So it's dealing a little bit more damage than what you would expect. But again, it's sort of halfway between level 6 and level 7. So yeah, I mean, it should be fine. And because we know it's a level 6 or level 7, you know exactly how hard or easy it's going to be against a level 6 party or level 3 party. So if you have like 3 level 2 guys, it's gonna be a good challenge. If you have 4 level 2 guys, you know, it'll be quite a bit easier. There you go. It's your dinner, okay? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Pizza party. Yeah, I'll take you guys out to them. I'll take you guys out to dinner. Gen Con Nimble meetup. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I mean, like I wasn't planning on going to Gamma, but like seeing Derek there and Steven there, and like I gotta be there. It's like it looked pretty cool. So I'm not planning on going to Gen Con, but maybe I will. Okay, so what were we working on, you guys? Remind me what we were way up here, I think. Okay. Yeah, so we were tweaking this image. We're tweaking this image. So let's go ahead and save that. And in here we can just hit refresh, and it should have like a little bit of a cool texture up here too. Okay, let's read the text. Let's make sure all the text still is good. The following adventures will guide your players, will guide you and your players from level 1 beginners to seasoned level 3 heroes. No, we don't need that. We'll guide your players from level 1 beginners to seasoned level 3 heroes, while helping you grow from a new GM to someone confident enough to run a sandbox-style campaign. By the end of this journey, your players will have plenty of choices about what to do next, and you'll have the tools to create new adventures that can keep the story going indefinitely. If you're new to GMing, expect the first session to be a fun learning experience for everyone. Newer players will get used to the rhythm of the roles and the flow of a TTRPG. But the second session, you'll all feel more at ease, and by the third, running the game will become second nature. For more seasoned GMs, consider using the advanced GM tools in this book to add complexity or customized challenges to suit your group. Good rule of thumb: your players will remember their own choices. There we go. That definitely needs their own choices far more than the story you've planned. Wherever possible, leave room for their creativity and ideas to shape that narrative. The adventures included here are designed to fit into a standard 2 to 4 hour session, but they're flexible enough to be extended, condensed, or otherwise adjusted to fit your group's needs. That's pretty good advice. I like that. That's solid. That is definitely solid. Feel free to adjust the adventures to suit your group preferences. Don't like spiders? Swap them out for another type of monster. Gremlins. What else could it be? Instead of spiders, gremlins, giant beetles, etc. Prefer a treasure hunt over a rescue mission? Maybe the goblin stole a precious item instead of kidnapping Moonblossom. Do your players thrive on combat or role-playing? Add more opportunities for their favorite parts of the game. These adventures are designed to inspire, not constrain. Follow the fun. Trust your instincts to adapt this as the story unfolds and make them your own. Love it. Okay, let's keep going. Let's tweak this and tweak that. And I think I might have tweaked the other thing too, the Rat Rider. I don't know. So I don't want to read through the adventures now. I think that's going to be a little bit too fiddly. So we'll skip that for now. And let's go here. Let's reveal in Finder. And bring this, open this up in Photoshop. And I think I might have some cooler art than that I can stick here also. So let's check that first. Not that this isn't cool art, but I think we're using that already. We're using that in inspiration. Ooh, yeah. Cobra. Landscape. Ooh, that's a good one. I do like that one. I need something like sort of vertical though. Well, we'll leave it. We'll keep this one for now. And let's grab this and drag it in here. And where is it? Where are we cropping this? Right at his tail, right after this little thing. Scooch this over. Okay, so it's like we're cropping it like right there at the edge. And let's get it all a little bit closer to the thing. Did you decide what the new art cover for the GM guide will be? So the thumbnail from yesterday's stream is a draft of it, but I do like the art for the new Maryvale. It might be the art for the new Maryvale. It might be that instead. But I've got the same artist, Shin Fein, I think it's the name. Fei Shin. He is doing a piece for the Valley of Hope and a piece for Far Hope as well. So maybe one of those, we'll see. But I wanted to have similar vibes to this. I wanted to have similar vibes to that. So we'll see. No, but I can just sort of scroll down to it. I think I have it here somewhere. Black powder weapons. Here you go. If you want to take a screenshot of that, there you go. This is the first draft. So it's not final, but if you're okay with a not final thing, you can go and take a screenshot of that. All right, so let's go back to here and we'll add the texture. If anybody asks, if you see anybody ask or leave a comment on the Kickstarter, because I haven't really had time to answer all those things like I want, because I want to actually finish the book and not just spend all day answering questions. If you guys could help me out and say that yes, you can update your order. Yes, the backer kit, or not the backer kit. I'm not using backer kit this time around. The pledge manager is going to be open soon. Then you can definitely let people know that. I would greatly appreciate it. Because I mean, if I unfortunately just trying to answer all the questions, I'll never be able to get I'll never actually be able to get the thing done if I spend all day answering questions. So I answer the most immediate urgent emails and messages and things and support requests. But beyond that, I have to triage and prioritize things because I want to get these things done. I don't want you guys waiting ages and ages for it. Adventure on. Okay, I don't like the things sticking out there, so let's we go. Scooch that up there. Uh, 11, 11, 11. And this should be body next paragraph. And this should not have body first paragraph. There we go. We can take the width of this down a bit. There we go. Yeah, no problem, Graham. Ventron, from here, you should be comfortable enough. So let's finish tweaking this. We really should have like because this is a big vertical piece. I don't love the guy on. I don't really love the guy on the Raptor. Info. Let's make sure. So here, I just want to make sure that the effective PPI points per inch is at least 300. So as I scale it, the PPI will go down. The 389, it's still fine. So I just want to make sure I have enough resolution to scale it, like I was thinking. Okay, so let's read the adventure guidelines, or the adventure on stuff. From here, you should be comfortable enough as a GM to start thinking about making your own adventures. It's not too hard, and it can be some of the most fun you'll have playing TTRPGs. Don't worry too much about having a big, complex, overarching plot. Your players won't actually remember that too much. What they'll remember is all the silly things they do and the troubles they get themselves into and out of. What's next? Show them the map. So like, yeah, my buddies are playing through Dragonlance right now. They didn't tell me anything about the story, anything about what's going on, but they are telling me like, oh yeah, this dude caught the biggest fish. And everybody likes him now. And this guy threatened someone and rolled a nat 20. Like, yeah, just yesterday at church, they were telling me all about all the things they were doing. I have no idea what the plot for the Dragonlance campaign is, but I know what their characters are doing. So that one, so any type of condition that is sort of bespoke like that is right there. So become confused this round. What is confused? It's right here. Good morning from New Zealand. Is it tomorrow already there? I think it's tomorrow already, isn't it? Cool. All right, so let's keep going. Let's stop being distracted. Adventure on. So what's next? Show them the map and ask where they'd like to go next. Ooh, I should include the map again. I did remove the map. Show them the map, ask where they'd like to go next. Each region has enough information, NPCs, points of interest, encounters, and loot for your party to adventure for a very long time. Each one also contains an example adventure using some of the available details. Tip, use the monster builder charts to adjust the adventure difficulty to be appropriate for any level. As for adventures, what interests you and your players? The rest of this book describes a local region and a number of different quests the heroes can go on. The rest of this book provides monsters to fight and describes local region. Monsters to fight describes a local region. Since we reorganize things. And a number of different quests the heroes can go on while providing enough content to take them all the way up through level 6, at which the setting opens up to be more of a sandbox. You can use it as a whole or strip it for parts, take bits you like, change names, details, however you want. Take bits you like, yeah, so I don't like, no, I shouldn't have said like and like here, however you want. There are, and then here, instead of a paragraph, it changes to, where is it? body first paragraph, and then this one should be body next paragraph. And yes, I do need to clean up some of these things. Okay, plenty of adventure hooks and tools contained here for enough. Much longer if desired. The rest of the journey is up to you. Leveling up. After one more good-sized quest, they can level up to 4. Heading to Far Hope may be a good idea to learn about the factions and their various quests. The quest Vermin's Vengeance on page 84 is a great one to take your players from level 3 to 4. For levels 4 to 5, you might level up after 2 or 3 sessions, weeks of in-game time. For levels 6 to 12, level up after every 2 to 4 sessions, months or years of in-game time. Beyond that, you reach the rarefied heights of truly epic heroes, leveling up perhaps only every 3 to 5 or more sessions, years or decades of in-game time. This, of course, is a more rule of thumb than a hard rule. Go at whatever pace is comfortable for you and your players. Leveling up too frequently might not give your players enough time to learn their new character abilities and can end up feeling rushed. Too slowly, comma, and your players might make it bored. Makes sense to me. Okay, so I think I would like a different piece of art on this page. I think I would like a different piece of art on this page. Oh no, I have to get another piece of art. Typo Mostners. Uh-oh. That's how you know it's not AI. Monsters, thank you. Your nimbleness? Is that mine? Is that my name? What is your litmus test for whether or not if a new mechanic / item is too fiddly? How far can you pare things down but still keep this essence of something? Graham, if you have an example, I'd be happy to take a look at an example. But if you check out the first page of the Creator's Kit, it walks through if it could be done in 1 step instead of 2, make it 1 step. It could be done in no steps instead of 1, make it no steps. Make it just happen. So can you boil it down? If you can, do it. If you could do, if it's something that you have to roll, then have them roll it when it's not their turn, like at the end of their turn or like whatever. So as much as possible. Yeah, if you had an example, feel free to share it. We'll take a look. Okay, I've been drawn combat encounter guidelines. So I think we need to just tweak where these are. Here we go. I want to grab this text and delete that. Enter here, let's paste it there. There we go. So now we know everything's always going to line up properly. And here, here. Fine-tuning difficulty, delete that. Paste that. And now I can drag this up here. Scooch this over. There we go. And then now we have space to do things. Let's check on something over here. Okay, monster levels. Making encounters in Nimble is easy. Simply add up the total levels of the heroes. For example, if you have 3 level 2 heroes, their total is 6. Monsters with a total level equal to that will be a hard but fair fight. Less than that, medium or easy. Greater than that, deadly or very deadly. Can't be much easier than that, you guys. For example, a griffin is a level 4 monster. So a flock of 6 griffins, 24 monster levels total, would be a hard encounter for 6 level 4 heroes. 4 level 6 heroes or 3 level 8 heroes. Great. The counters should have 1 to 4 monsters per hero. It really should be like 1 to 3 monsters per hero, so I'm just going to tweak that. For an epic fight against a single bad guy, use a legendary monster. And if you want hordes of monsters, use minions. Important note, if the heroes or monsters greatly outnumber one another, the encounter may be easier or harder than anticipated. 1 to 3 monsters per hero is the sweet spot for most encounters. There you go. Encounters per rest. Typically, a session includes 2 to 5 combat encounters. Okay, so we'll tweak it from 1 to 4. We'll just take it down just one step. But this is flexible. If your players are enjoying the game without combat, don't force it. Especially, I remember one of my favorite sessions was one where we just happened to not have any combat. I had combat planned, but like we did other things, and it was super duper cool. Hey Sanity, good to see you, man. CR stands for can't rationalize. I don't think that's what that stands for. But that is a funny one. Especially if they've cleverly avoided it or it doesn't fit the story. If the story calls for more than 5 encounters, go ahead. The key is to ensure the game remains fun and engaging, avoiding encounters that are trivial, frustratingly difficult, or repetitive. Easy. If the monster's total levels are less than half the heroes, this is an easy encounter. Heroes will lose minimal hit points and resources, making these encounters great for testing new abilities or gauging progress. Test new abilities, comma, gauging progress, comma, or whittling down resources. They help players feel powerful, especially after leveling up. Use 1 to 2. Use 1 easy encounter in a typical session. Let's say 0 or 1 easy encounters in a typical session. So we're just tweaking things just a little bit because a lot of people were complaining about this section. I'll put 1 to 2 as a sweet spot. A group of 4 heroes can get 12 monsters, and it might be too much. 1 to 3 is a sweet spot, I think. 1 to 3. So like a group of level 1 or level 2 heroes could face like 3 goblins per hero, and it'd be fine. 4 goblins per hero is a little bit tough because like the heroes can each kill like 1 goblin on their turn. So now there's only 2 goblins per hero that are actually attacking. So the more monsters per hero, the weaker each of those monsters is. In examples of the grim dark rules options mentioned in the pitch video, yeah, for instance, you would have 0 easy encounters and only hard or harder. Hard, deadly, and very deadly, if you want it to be grim dark. In each of those, so each encounter is just harder. And then you can, in the core rules, instead of having 6 maximum wounds, you can just have like 3 or 2 or 1 or none. You hit 0, you die. That's grimdark. There you go. That's all you have to do. If you want people to feel super heroic, then hard might be the hardest encounter level that you ever have, and like medium is going to be the typical one. You'll have easy, medium, and occasionally a hard one. Super easy to do. Super duper easy to do. Yeah, great question. Sure thing. Yeah, Graham, you're on fire today, man. Asking some bangers. When the monster levels are around 75% of the heroes, expect some hit point loss and moderate resource expenditure. Heroes will get hurt, but shouldn't drop to 0 hit points. Use 1 to 2 medium encounters in a typical session. Yep, that sounds good. With the monsters level equal the heroes. All of this is hard for me to parse, but I think it's correct. It made it through editing, so I'll leave it alone. This encounter will be challenging but fair. Heroes must use significant resources. Some may drop to 0 hit points, but none should die. Bad luck, use 1 hard encounter in typical session. Deadly. When monster levels are 100 to 125% of the heroes, this encounter requires strategy and teamwork. Suitable for tough battles, well-equipped parties, or campaign bosses. Use them sparingly. Yeah, leave a like, everybody. Thank you so much, Edward. All right, hey Blue, thanks for popping in, man. Yeah, leave a like. Thank you guys. Very deadly, 150% monster levels. This encounter is extremely dangerous unless they are extremely well optimized or are multi-classing and play exquisitely. They will almost certainly need to retreat or die. Use only when the heroes made a bad mistake, you telegraph danger, and they fail to heed. It's common for heroes to return to a home base or town to rest after each session, but this isn't a rule. Be adaptable. If your players are accumulating too many wounds, consider introducing an opportunity for safe rest, such as finding a friendly cleric or a hidden oasis. If a safe rest isn't an option, you can ease the encounter difficulty to keep the adventure moving. Otherwise, heroes might need to cut their journey short to recover. Armor variety. Well, these ratios can vary, so I'm going to tweak this just a bit. I think this should be 70. This should be 25, and this should be 5. I think it should be like closer to this. Just in the experience, the assumption is unarmored, and then is this a medium? Is like if you fight like 10 monsters, you might fight like two, like 7 of them will be unarmored, 2 of them will be medium, and you might fight a heavy armored guy like every other session. That feels about correct. That feels about correct. Well, these ratios can vary too. Too many armored foes can bog down combat. Use armor to add flavor, not frustration. For balance session, aim for roughly. Yep, that sounds great. All of that sounds fantastic. Okay, and I think this should be encounters per rest, resting and recovery, encounter. Let's copy this. I think we'd use some headlines here. Encounter difficulty. Encounter difficulty. Yep. Typical encounters should have 1 to 3 monsters per hero. Okay. Encounters per rest. Okay. Encounter difficulty. Okay. Then here we should have another thing here. Resting. Ooh, not that. Let's add another thing here. Resting and recovery. And let's cut this here. And let's add it here. There we go. Encounters per rest, resting and recovery. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense in my brain. Makes a lot more sense. I think like an icon for each of these would be pretty fun, but maybe. Is there a way to get that or bad luck? I think we fixed that already. Deadly /V, deadly use? I don't know what that means. Monster levels. The rest use monsters levels. Oh, okay. Deadly and very deadly. When the monster levels equal the heroes. Yeah, I think monster levels as like if it was like a thing. The monster levels are less than half the heroes. The monster levels, yeah, that reads more easily. Like monster levels is the thing. Do the encounter difficulties take into account the heroes? Yes. So like the overall, like the this many encounters per rest, yeah. So whether you have the hard encounter first and then easy medium, or you have these and the hard one, then you could just like use the rest of your resources. Yeah, it's very forgiving. It's really very forgiving. It does not assume that the heroes are at max resources. It definitely doesn't assume that at all. But like once they use up all their hit dice, then they're going to start taking wounds, once they have wounds, like that is sort of like the time, like, oh, we have too many wounds, we need to go rest. Hey, Eve. Hey, Kojo. Ah, good man. Thank you. Yeah, monster. It's like saying eggs. You say eggs too much, and it becomes not a word. I could post an example of fire mechanics and myself and have been working on in the Discord, but it would be multiple messaging role. Yeah, go ahead, man. It's just me and you hanging out, man. Feel free to do whatever. So I'm going to just drag this off. I'm going to grab both these, drag this off, just so I can like worry about the layout in a second. And we'll just see how much space we have left when we're done. All right, so let's read this page now. Fine-tuning difficulty. Start easy. Creating perfectly balanced encounters takes practice. And I don't really want perfectly balanced. Creating encounters with the right level of challenge. There you go. Because perfectly balanced to one group might be something else to another group. Like, so like perfectly balanced is like, oh, these are easy enough for us to have fun and not really worry too much about the tactics stuff. And like my kid who's playing like won't cry because he gets attacked too much. Like that's perfectly balanced for them. So rather than perfectly balanced, like equal, it's like the right level of challenge. Creating encounters with the right level of challenge takes practice. It's better to err on the side of too easy than too hard. As a GM, you have many ways to increase the difficulty during play, but fewer ways to lower it without breaking immersion. At the beginning of an encounter, roll a firearm's ammo die to determine how many shots you have before you recharge your firearm. Okay. After that many shots, you must spend the prescribed amount of action points to recharge your ammo. So I would just say action instead of action points. Smaller weapons. So I would say after that many shots, you must reload. And then each weapon will say reload 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Smaller weapons charge faster. One action, lower damage. Yep. Okay. Pistol range 8 damage, 1d4 plus dex. Piercing ammo, piercing damage, 1d6 reload. 1:3, 3:3. I don't know what that means. I don't know what 1:3, 3:3 means. Willing properties light, range, vicious, load, loud. At the beginning of your first turn, you roll a firearm ammo die. You rolled a 3, so you have 3 shots before you have to spend. That makes sense. No ammo tracking aside from the encounter. No extra inventory or slots for ammo tracking. 1 extra dice roll at the beginning. Yeah, so that's not bad. So what would I do if I were cooking on that? I mean, I would do what I did actually do. So it feels like we're adventuring around. I would make sure like so. The initial thoughts that I have is if I was a player, I would think this doesn't feel fair. Like this doesn't feel realistic because like between encounters, like I'm gonna make sure I have all 6 bullets or whatever, all 6 shots inside this weapon. It's like why would I roll and like, oh oops, I only have 1, right? So like the mechanics don't match the fantasy, and maybe you can explain it away, like after one attack it malfunctions, and maybe it's not like reloading, but it's maybe more of a malfunction. That could be fine. Not recommending 4-1. Yeah. Do we need additional guidance for the fact that more lower level monsters pack more stats than yeah, we tweaked the recommendation from 4-1 to 3-1 instead. I think that'll help. Yeah, so having an additional roll right away. So like I'm not sure that the mechanics fit the fantasy of it. If it was like some sort of goblin or like World of Warcraft, like gnomish crazy, like whoa, crazy invention, who knows what it's gonna break, like Yeah, you could roll that, and like you could fire it this many times before it malfunctions or whatever, and then you have to reload it or tinker with it and spin actions to fix it. But it doesn't make sense that you would know, oh, I can shoot this 3 times before I have to fix it, like, because you wouldn't know when you need to fix it. So what I would do is, like, whenever you roll a 1 or something, then it breaks. Then you run out of ammo. Then you have to fix it. Then you have to reload it or whatever. So I don't know that it makes sense. The mechanics make sense with the fantasy. I like that you don't have to track ammo. I think it's cool that different size weapons have take longer to reload or recharge or something. I think that makes sense. I don't know what loud does, but it sounds like it'd be a drawback. So if someone could see this and see the pistol and see the short bow and say like, "Ooh, I could see reasons why I'd pick this over this, or reasons why I'd pick that over this," then you're doing good. But if you put a new player and you give them this thing and they can never remember how to do the thing, then maybe we can streamline it. Maybe we can make it more intuitive. But yeah, not a bad start. Balance with tactics. Focus fire. Concentrating attacks on 1 or 2 heroes makes encounters feel harder. Conversely, spreading out damage or sending monsters in waves can make the encounter more manageable. Movement. Monsters that move each turn force martial characters to reposition, limiting their attacks. This also opens up opportunities for variations to lower difficulty, reduce monster movement. Target squeeze characters, make them use their actions to defend or run away and hide behind their stronger friends. Let the tanks feel good about defending and interposing. Adjust initiative. The sooner the monsters act in the round, the harder the encounter will be, and vice versa. If, after the first player's turn, it looks like the bad guys are in for a trouncing, move some of them up in the initiative order instead of waiting until the end of the round. Yep. Relax. Heroes have plenty of tools to handle tough situations, so don't stress over getting every encounter perfectly balanced. You'll improve with experience, as will your players. Hero death isn't the end. If some or all heroes die, it's not necessarily a failure. Encourage your group to make new characters and dive back in. And we can add a note here. Or perhaps perhaps the bad guys take your heroes hostage instead. Balancing with minions. Minions excel as battlefield filler, allowing heroes to showcase their strengths. Armored defenders can hold off waves of attacks, while spellcasters can annihilate groups with a single spell. They help combat feel dynamic and give heroes the chance to shine while keeping the pace fast and exciting. Ways of minions. Start with an easier encounter. Start with an easy encounter. And introduce minions and waves to dial in the challenge. Minions might emerge from hidden positions or be summoned mid-battle. Yep. That's true. They might. 1 minion per hero. Slightly more difficult, but will greatly increase the tactical options. 2 to 3 minions per hero. Noticeably more difficult. 4 minions per hero. Much more challenging. Are there horde/swarm monsters? Yeah, there's some monsters that summon other baddies. For sure. Make a flying ship campaign right now. All right. Cool. Yeah. Having 1 thing to track is better than having 2 things to track. I did map it out a bit in Discord, and spending a budget of 16 on 16 level 1s versus I'm not sure I understand what this thing. There's on spending a budget of 16 on 16 level 1s versus 8 level 2s versus 4 level 4s is huge in regard to total sum of DPR and HP. So yes, that is the case. But at the same time, if you have 16 level 1 monsters, before the monsters act, you'll be able to, so if you have that, you'll be able to kill like 5 or 6 of them. Like you'll be able to kill a lot of them. So not all of those stats will last the whole time. But if you have 4 level 4s, like very likely, like those guys are gonna be strong enough to, all of them can survive a whole round of hero attacks. So there will be 4 level 4s on turn 1. So it's not just adding all of them up as if they go first. You have to see, you have to think how many of them are going to be able to take their first turn. Let me know, Sanity, if you took that into account also. If you didn't, then take that into account and then like recalculate things. But also spreading, they do have more than double, sometimes even triple AP, right? But if I do a whirlwind and I can hit 2 or 3 or 4 monsters, like, so it's not that it's like way harder, it's just that different abilities become more or less valuable. So AoEs and things that hit multiple monsters. So it's not just like a one-to-one thing. So double check that you took that into account, because the math is a little bit more complicated than just, you know, adding up all the bad guys and adding up all the heroes and their levels and all this sort of stuff. So it sort of takes that into account. So like in Magic the Gathering, a spell like a card that lets you draw a card might cost like 1 mana, but a card that lets you draw 2 cards doesn't cost 2 mana, it might cost 3 mana. And a card that lets you draw 3 cards might cost like 4 mana or 5 mana. Like, so because like each additional card, like the value is like way bigger, right? Like drawing 2 cards is much better. Drawing 2 cards with 1 card is more card advantage than drawing 2 cards with 2 cards, if that makes sense. So because you combine multiple things in 1 card, you combine multiple things on 1 monster, it can keep attacking, and it's less vulnerable to AoE and other kinds of things, and it can keep going, and it's a lot scarier to face. Overkill damage. While minions lack hit points, you can optionally use their die size as a measure of durability. Excess damage from an attack can carry over to other minions in range. For example, a 20 damage attack could take down 2 D10 minions or 5 D4 minions. Suggested minion die size by party level. Here it is. Yep, so if you are level 1 to 3, D4, yep, all of that looks fine enough. Well, that looks fine enough. There you go. Yep. Yeah, your GM knew what was going on. Yeah, there's a bunch of monsters that can make more dudes. Okay, so we have space for a couple of cool things to take place. So I think I can anchor this like this, anchor this like that. Okay, so those are anchored now. So if I move this, that should move too. All right, so I've got space. I've got a good bit of space for some art. Let's see how much art we can squeeze into here. Let's grab this, scooch him in here. All right, guys, let's tweak some stuff. I'm going to increase this to 100, center him, scooch down to the bottom, and then scooch up 1. Here we go. All right, so for here, like we don't want words like, you know, too tight here. So I'm gonna hit P, and we will straighten this out so that we don't have to worry about. Ooh. Okay. So this is like the little bounding box that makes the text wrap around it. All right, so let's grab this. And I like having a little snake tail in there too. I think that's such a cool touch. Sorry, guys. Grab. Why is it doing that? There we go. Let's group this. Scooch these over. Let's ungroup that. Geology's for magic items in the handbook are really good. All right, cool. Glad you like it, man. Hey, Goonoff. All right, so we can make him a little bit bigger. Okay, so this isn't far from where we want to be. Why is this? Let's just check this. So we don't want this kind of wonkiness happening. There we go. Okay, if we scooch these guys up just a smidge. Okay, so I want this thing down here to line up with the purple line here, and I want this to line up with the purple line. So I'm trying to just inch this over, up and over, and there we go. So here we have this one good, and there we have that one good. Perfect. Let's make sure nothing weird is being cut off in any kind of way. Then here we have for a bow session aim. So like I'm just scooching it over a little bit so that it's just a little bit cleaner. Yes, this is great. Now we have the whole manticore on here. Now that's a manticore. That's what I call a manticore. No, that's not a manticore. What is this? This is it's not a hydra. What is this monster? Chimera. It's a chimera. Chimera. Usually killing parts of them off helps in regards to number scaling, but the stats sum are a lot higher, so it does. So I can model it for you if you want, but the numbers should be there. So like one attack can kill off like a bunch of them, so they should have 2 to 3 to 4 times as many hit points as the individual monsters, like total, because you can target 2 to 3 to 4 of them at the same time with one attack. Okay. All right, I'm happy with that page, and I think because this is, I see how like this part is darker than the other part, so I think I don't want to multiply this since it's already anchored to something that's multiplied, because it multiplies it twice. It's a little weird little bug that InDesign has. Okay, let's go to unique encounters, guys. Let's cut that, delete that, click in here, paste it there. And then body next paragraph plus. All right. So now we have one text block that we can work with, and we don't have to worry about everything else. Drag that down. Drag this over. Line it up. This is gonna be a tight layout, you guys. It's gonna really fit really well. Hey, Matt. How's Alaska? How are things going? Especially at low levels where AoE is not as strong. Okay. Fixed D&D. Hey, hey. If you want to DM me the link to the thing, yeah, feel free. I'd be happy to take a look at it, and I'd definitely be happy to take a look at it. And I did tweak this. That should help. Where is it? I did tweak it a little bit. I don't know where it was moved to, but it's here somewhere. Here it is. Resting and recovery. That shouldn't be under resting and recovery, should it? Counter difficulty. Ooh, good catch. So resting and recovery. So if we cut this, let's cut this and add it here. That is where it should be. Typical account should have 1 to 3 monsters per hero. Okay, so 3 is, what was 1 to 4? So that should fix a lot of that. That should definitely fix a lot of that. Let's go here. We have to pull that up a bit. There we go. Now we have to fix this. Let's do, just think of where I can save the, I have to do this too. Increase the column, the gutter size just a smidge. There we go. And then see, this is a little bit closer to the line here than this. And anytime there's a bullet list, we can just add a little bit of space there to make up for it. It's only 97 today. Oof. It is 81 here where I am. Yep. Yep. All right, guys, let's go to the next page. Most encounters start with the heroes and bad guys aware of each other with within 1 or 2 movements, 1 or 2 moves apart, and features 1 to 3 level appropriate enemies per hero who fight to the death. Well, this formula works. Changing it up from time to time can make for a more memorable encounter. Here's some ways to spice things up. Let's bold that. Bold, because it's spicy. This should be body first paragraph. But we're going to say it spans all. There we go. And we'll give it a little bit of padding on the bottom. All right, ambush. Bad guys. An easy encounter becomes much more difficult and exciting when the bad guys get to drop. And we have to increase this, 1, 2. Increase this, 1, 2. And let me actually just scroll all the way to the top and just make sure all of the gutters are set to that. This one isn't. And I haven't looked at this page yet, but I'll be updating that page also. And there is, I don't know if you guys know, but there's a version 2.0 to the third-party creators license, adding a little bit more freedom for you guys. But I did that in December before the new thing launched. we go, and this is set to 12. Yeah, how do I, uh-oh, it isn't crashed. All right, let's see how much we lost. If anybody knows how to just globally change the gutter of things, I'd appreciate that. Okay, not too much. That's good. Not too much. So this is 12. We'll change it to 14. This is 12. Change it to 14. It did. It did. Look at this. Look at that. It did. I knew it. I knew that it did. Come on. Like it's annoying enough for it to crash, and then like all the pop-ups after it crashes is like just salt in the wound, right? Okay, so all of that is looking good. Let's go here. That's 14. That's 14. I'm just looking right here, you guys. That's 14. There's no column here. These two. Can I just change multiple at once? Ooh, okay. That's nice. 1, 2. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to make it all the way through the GM guide today, but we're making great progress. And the part that was the hardest is the monsters, and that part's already done. So. And like a lot of these little mathy parts, those could be rather challenging and tedious. But we knocked that out pretty early, which I'm happy about. You got to eat that frog. You guys ever read that book? Eat that frog, or eat the frog. It's been crashing on you a lot lately. Just don't update it. Don't ever update it, and it won't crash on you. Every time you update it, it crashes twice as much. Chillax Bob Ross 5 with your day. I gotta get my hair a little bit bigger to get the Bob Ross vibe. But no, that's cool. Those farms having a larger disadvantage range, i.e. an adjacent enemy puts disadvantage. Yeah, I mean, if it's a ranged weapon, different firearm categories have different disadvantage ranges. Pistol, actual ranged weapons, only adjacent enemies. Yeah, something to differentiate it. Something to differentiate it. So for mine, they have shorter ranges. So like the big one is like a cone, so it's better at AoE, but it's not as good at single target. And the littler one can shoot, but then like you have to reload it or do something. I don't really remember exactly what it is. Yeah, I'd be real careful about super long range. And like that can, so all of these different exceptions. So like ranged, if someone's next to you, you have disadvantage. But if you have to remember like that plus this plus this plus this, like if anybody's like within this area, I still have disadvantage. One, does it make sense? Maybe not. But it's just like another thing to remember. So as few exceptions as you can make as possible is what I'd recommend when you're designing things. Try not to have exceptions to the rules if you can help it. So let me see, what did I do for that? So 2d12. So pepper box, range 6, 1d6 plus dex. So it has less range, I think. It has a shorter range than the short bow. So short bow is still better in a lot of circumstances. I think it has shorter range than the short bow. Short bow. Yeah, short bow has a range of 12. Oh, wow. Okay. So it is between a javelin and like a short bow. So it's further than javelin. It's a vicious 2. It's like you get them good and you get them good. But on a miss, like 1/6 of the time, you have to spin an action to clear the jam. And then blunderbuss is like a cone. So 2 actions. And there's 2d12. And if either die rolls a 1, you take the damage too. So it's like it's a big cone, but it sort of takes some of the arc lightning vibes of like on a miss, like you take damage too, but it's a cone and like that kind of thing. What I was thinking is point blank, you don't get disadvantage when attacking an enemy because you're just like boom, like when attacking adjacent enemy, like that makes sense because you're not really like aiming carefully. You're not like drawing a thing, like having to make this big action. Like when you're drawing a bow, you're sort of doing this kind of thing. And if someone's next to you, it's harder to do that. But if you just have like a hand cannon, bam, 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 like you're just getting people who are like right next to you, like point blank. You don't have disadvantage. Maybe, I don't know. And instead of that, instead of this, what I might do is I might just say pepper box reach 6. So using the rule that we already have. So instead of saying, oh, it's a range 6, but it has this extra ability that you don't get disadvantage when attacking an adjacent enemy, just give it reach 6. It's a little bit different, but kind of the same. Yeah. So for me, I said like there should not be a sniper rifle because the sniper rifle in the fantasy setting is the longbow, right? So we already have a sniper rifle. We don't want to replace that. It should be the unequivocal king of long range. So that is why I made those choices. Okay. Excuse me. Ambush bad guys. Place hidden enemies close to the party and let them act first. Just be careful if there is a good story reason for the ambush, or you give them a chance to spot it. Let's move this up. Just be careful that you just make sure that you give them a chance to spot it. And there's a good reason, there's a good story reason for the ambush. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. Ambush heroes, an extremely hard encounter. But the heroes get plenty of time to scout, research weaknesses, set up traps and obstacles, or even choose the battleground, on top of getting a full turn to act. Full round to act before the bad guys can. Backdraft. Heroes take damage whenever they take a certain action. Cast spells, use weapons, move, or use special abilities. Betrayal. Have an allied NPC suddenly turn on the heroes mid-fight. Oh no! It can't reach me when we're a relatively weak group of bad guys are at an unfairly advantageous height and able to drop heavy things onto the heroes, or out of range of melee attacks from the heroes, and with excellent cover against range. Forcing them to fight their own while trying to break the spell. Defend the fort. Heroes must defend a location for a certain number of rounds until reinforcements arrive. That's cool. 2 enemy factions. Anytime there's like a number, I just like to put the numeral. I know that's like technically not the correct way to do it, but that's the way I like to do it. 2 enemy factions are fighting each other. When the heroes arrive, the party can choose to sit back and let the factions weaken each other, manipulate the chaos to their advantage, or attack both sides. And I will make this, I love parentheses, you guys. I won't apologize for it. The environment itself is the main challenge. Reversal lava, throwable explosive mushrooms, collapsing caves, a sinking ship, etc. Enraged baddies, each time something happens, a bad guy takes damage, they lose an ally, their damage increases. Ooh, that's a good one. Grudge match. There's some cool ideas here. I haven't read this in like a year, so. Ooh, you know what would be a good idea? What if we numbered all of these? What if we numbered these so that you could roll? Would that be helpful? What if we numbered these so that you could roll on the table and like you could get one or more of these? Legendary numbers? Yeah, let's do that. I think that's a pretty good idea. Yeah, random tables. Legendary numbers. Bam. So we have 37. We have 37. What could we do? And yes, I see that the thing is, this is busted. Yeah, it is fun to like. It is fun to. Hey, that's not half bad. Yeah, last year Evan was no dummy. Okay, so if we have 37 things, what does that mean? Let's make a new thing here. So D44, 11, 12, 21, 22, 20. Okay, so how many possibilities? So there are 15 possibilities. So how many? How many? D66. There are 30. Ooh, there are 36 possible results for a D66. That's cool. That's pretty much what we have. So we could just have a D66 table, couldn't we? We will have to cut one of these mercilessly. We'll have to cut, or we can just combine one of these. Okay, we'll say 1. Choose one or roll a D66. Should we actually make it a table? Tables are so hard to mess with. Just 11, 12, 13 would do that. I don't think. Here's registered number. Their damage increases each time something happens. Yes, you are correct. You are true. They take damage, lose an ally, etc. There you go. That reads even better. Mm-hmm. 21, 22. Nope, there's no 27. 31, 32, 33. Yeah, tables. 35, 36, 37. Nope, no 37. 41. You could add a few and make it D4 plus 10. Like roll a D4, then a D10. D66 is fine, I think. The names should be bolded, aren't they? Yeah, so it's just the grep style. When there's a period, it stops the bolding. So I just tweak that. Currently streaming this on 3 devices. I should probably pick one. No, keep streaming on 3 devices. That helps the viewership. It helps the algorithm. I don't think it actually does, but thanks for hanging out. 142. 43, 44, 45, 46, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 61, 62, 64, 65, 66. Okay, which of these could we combine? I think reinforce. I think this one. We give up and reinforce. I'll just replace this one because these are kind of similar. Reinforce. Enemies run away for reinforcements when bloodied or half their numbers are taken down. There we go. You just combine those two. I think that's an improvement. Okay, so we have those numbered now. Finally. First two seem mergeable. I think we got there. I think we got there. Because these two are very different. They're both ambushes, but they're very, very different. Okay, bolding words. Hey, Evan, why does it take you so long to just reprint the... Because I'm having to bold 1,000 words individually. That's why. I think all these changes we're making are like actually making the book like substantially better. Or more useful, at least. I love that we're able to get D66 in here also, because that's just like one of my favorite things. Just such a clever way to do things. Okay, so let's make this guy's art just a smidge bigger. And let's go to Window, Information. And this guy, actual PPI, effective PPI 356. So yeah, we have space to make him bigger. I know, I'm a sucker for like this kind of thing. Like, oh look, his tail is gonna block the. Oh, it's not blocking the number because his tail is like over here. I think that's pretty cool. There we go. Scooch this down. It's effective PPI. Ooh, now the PPI is now 286. So he's a little bit too big. So he'll be a little bit blurry. We'll have to do some editing on that image to make him work. But it's good to know. At least it's good to know. Line to page here. Opacity 100%. Center that. Okay, so I will have to do a little bit of editing on there. What if a monster gets disarmed? Like, disarming isn't really something that it's not a fun mechanic. It's not really here. Like, I remember watching, I think it was Critical Role once, and one of the guys was like, "Ha! I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna spin my turn to disarm the enemy." And he's like, "All right," and he drops his weapon. Enemy's turn is next, and he picks up his weapon. Like, it was a big like oof. It was a big oof moment. That's not to say it can't be done well, but in that circumstance, it felt pretty unfun. Okay, so let's make him a little bit smaller. Window, info. Let's just, so we won't have to edit it. Effective PPI 294. So we make him just the tiniest bit smaller. Right, let's check. 298. Oh, 2 more pixels. 299. Come on, we need another pixel. There it is, 301. Okay, so he can be this big without issue. All right, and then we can tweak this, scooch this over a little bit. Okay. This part is like his spear is disarmed. I don't know what that means. Hey, Vacky. Yeah. Could you turn him or move him so the blade would fit? Yeah, maybe. What should you do when a player asks to take the weapon? Yeah, let him take it. Maybe it's too heavy for them. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. I don't know, but you let him do it. There we go. Unique encounters, guys. We did it. And then look, he's pointing at his creator. Monster Builder. All right, let's count how many things are here. Maybe we could turn this into a thing as well. 39. Oh, no, there's more. 41. Okay, so how do we do 40? It could just be 2 lists of 20. 2 lists of 20. He's pointing at it. He's pointing at his friend, Mr. Justin. Yeah, disarming is one of those things that sounds cool but isn't. At least I've never seen it be cool. Not that it can't be cool. Because then, like, now, okay, I'm playing it on the GM, and like you disarmed my bugbear. Like, now what do I do with a bugbear? Like, how do I attack with them? Like, can I come up with something? Yes, but is that going to be easy? Not really. Is it going to be fun? I don't know. Not particularly. So what did we use here? We used legendary stat block. So here we'll use the same thing. Legendary stat block. Okay. Should we just do... Yeah, he took it and then Krog sold it back next turn. Yeah, that's one of the, like, man, you know, like that feels kind of unfun if you could just undo it. All right. So this one, so what was it? What did we say it was? 39 or something? How many numbers were here? Hey, Max No Million. I like that name. I found an action between Oath of Vengeance. All right, let's see. I will say that Oathsworn is a bit pushed. Oath of Vengeance, 3rd level. Aura Zeal, whenever you roll Judgment Dice, roll 1 more. Gain an aura with reach thing. Okay. An explosive judgment decree. I had a 4 reach, 3d8 radiant blast per encounter. Explosive judgment once per encounter. Once per encounter. Once per encounter, when you or an ally in your aura would drop to 0. No, not that. Once per encounter, 2 actions. Expend your judgment dice. Deal that much radiant damage to all enemies in your aura. Yeah. So is that a powerful thing? Yes. But what are the limitations? Oathsworn is not a fast character. Oathsworn is not a fast character. So you need to be attacked. Or when an ally in your aura needs to be attacked in order to gain judgment dice. You need to spend 2 actions in order to do this, and you need to be around. You need to like presumably move to some area where there's more than like 1 or 2 or 3 minions. So I would just adjust to, like, if one, let him do this at least sometimes. Like this sounds like it's a cool thing. Like he built his character to do this thing. Like let him do the cool thing that he wants to do. If it starts to become a problem, just don't have have the minions more spread out. Have the minions attacking a different ally, or if they keep clumping up together, add an enemy that like does AOE. Like you guys are all clumped up. Just boom, like AOE all the heroes. Like you can't interpose for an AOE thing. So like you're dealing like 3 or 4 times as much damage with this one character. So it's a bit of counterplay. So if he's doing that to counterplay you and he's having fun, like awesome. Now you can do a thing to counterplay him, and it could be fun for you as well. And they get to figure out how to do. my daughter is at the dentist, and they got her on the laughing gas, and she's telling me about how she's being silly, cracking them up so far. That's good. So yeah, feel free to, AoEs. So no, this AoE in particular says deal that much radiant damage to all enemies in your aura. So radiant damage is like only hurts the bad guys. A lot of the other ones like fire and necrotic, they deal damage indiscriminately. So one, let them do it. Two, if it becomes annoying, just use fewer minions, or just spread them out a little bit more. There's certain minions that have ranged attacks, so like it makes it harder to like do this reliable thing that just like makes your encounters like way too easy. So just adjust the encounters a little bit, and you should have no problem challenging your Oathsworn and challenging your people and having a good time. So it is powerful against minions. Any AoE is very powerful against minions, but like he's using his judgment dice to do this. So instead of dealing a bunch of damage to one guy, he's dealing less damage to multiple guys, and it's costing 2 actions. So it is balanced, but that's I mean, he's doing a cool thing. He's doing a cool thing, and you're setting up the situation so that it works. Okay, so I have forgotten how many things were here. Let's write numbers. There were 41. Okay. D88 has 64 possibilities. D66 has 36 possibilities. And D44 has... No, D44 does not have 44 possibilities. What do you think I am? 16 possibilities. Okay, so there's 16. What do we say here? 36. And what was this one? 64. Yeah, that sounds correct. 64. Because then a D100 would have... Oh, you just multiply. Multiply the two numbers together. Durr. So for this we'll just do D20 and then choose one column. I think we'll do that. The room was small, kind of give the others not much to do, but yeah, I mean, like if one guy can like shine in this one specific thing, like yeah, he's gonna remember that. Like in like 2 years and 3 years and 5 years, he's gonna say, "Hey, you maxed a million. You remember that time you gave me all those minis? Like you're like 12 minis all in one thing. Like that was amazing." That's a memory for him, So that's gonna be cool. Next time, like create a situation where some of the other heroes could shine. But also, like if you attack him with all the minions, like now he, if you attack him with the minions and then like you move all the minions away, right? Now he's gonna have to defend, otherwise he's gonna take a lot of damage. And he's gonna have to move in order to get a lot of the minions. Now he only has one action left, and he can't do it. So like he has a lot. You can make for interesting choices for him also. Like, ooh, you're taking a lot of damage. You got like 3 hit points left. You sure don't want to defend against these minions? Like, no, I'm just gonna blow them all up. All right, well that's cool. That's a choice that you can make. For a large group, sometimes up to 8 level 9 players. Yeah, I mean that's a big table. You're probably gonna have fewer encounters, but I mean, it's a big group. It's a big group. Have fun. I would probably limit. I would probably say like no companions for a group that big. And you might want to intersperse some of the monsters like between the heroes' turns just a little bit, because like 8 or 9 heroes can like kill a lot of the monsters, and like it could obviate some of the challenge a little bit. Yeah, bigger dudes struggling to reach the party level without having a lot of enemies. So I guess a question would be, will there be higher level versions of 15, 20 of everyday enemies like cultist bandits? So yeah, let me show you how to do that. So you can do that already. So let's say a bandit is level 1. He's got 26 hit points. He deals 11 damage. I want him to be level 10. Just give him 118 hit points, and now he's dealing 30 damage. So like, it's a bandit. It's just a super duper strong bandit. Like you can just do that with the monster chart. So you can level up or level down any monster that you want very, very, very easily, just like that. So you don't need that. So what do bandits get? Like you miss them on a 1 or 2 because they have the parry ability. So if you have that many dudes, just had like 9 bandits. They each have 104 hit points, and they each attack for D44. Oof, that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a spicy encounter, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. 8 players, yeah. I mean, my first session, my first D&D group was with like 12 players plus a DM. Nice, awesome. Yeah. We updated that. Hey, Malefmist. Good to see you, man. Yeah, these bandits are hopped up on caffeine, and they're vibrating, like they're humming. And I wouldn't call it bandit. I would call them something else, or just don't give the monster a name. Just describe like these, like these are like like these are some bad hombres, right? You could say something like that. I don't think so. I don't think there are tiers. Like, I mean, level 1 is definitely like different than the rest. I don't think there's really tiers. It's quite linear. There's not like you hit this level like bam. So if you look at, let me just show you this. This isn't going to be like the perfect example, but like, so this little noodle chart here, like things are like pretty, and like some of these outliers are like things that I was testing, but like things are pretty linear. So like each level is incrementally better, not twice as good, not like, or like every other level you're twice as good, like Pathfinder. But it's pretty linear. So like you'll feel a little bit stronger at level 2 than you did at level 1. You'll feel a little bit stronger at level 4 than you did at level 3. So I don't think there's really tiers. So beyond level 10, you could just do like more of your special abilities. Like it's a D12 instead of a D10. You can just do more of them, or you're better at them, but you don't fundamentally get like new abilities. Spellcasters get like tier 9 spells, but it's like you can do them once. And then there's a big drawback, like you lose all your hit points, or like this or this happens. So, all right, let's keep cooking. All right, so let's turn this into a table, even though I hate making tables. Okay. 1d20. Boom. Say, we'll just delete these 3 rows. This row, that row. Delete row. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 to 20. And then we only need okay, how do we, there we go. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, well, we'll delete columns. Then we will select this to here. Then grab that, bring it out to there. Nope. And grab this one, bring it out to here. There we go. Cool. Ability A. Variability B. Copy. I'm surprised that worked. Okay. Gravity manipulator hates the light. Copy. Paste. Nope, not like that. Like that. There we go. Nice. Summoner. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, open table situation. Yeah. Was there anywhere that monsters could do stuff besides what their stat block says? Yeah, legendary monsters can. Legendary monsters can. Go down to here. Legendary monsters have like a handful of special optional things here. And then just monsters in general, if we go up here, they can move even if their stat block doesn't say move because they have a speed of 6. And also they can replace one of their attacks. Where is it? They can replace either attack to move again or to retry a save. So creatures that have like 2 or 3 attacks are just like more resilient to like saving and stuff because they can just replace two of their 3 attacks with a save. All right. So this might not be a good idea. This is going to be a headache. Let's just see if I can do it easily. So I think I'm going to have to do this and change the font size maybe. Font size 10. Oh, no, that's bigger. Font size 9. There we go. Maybe 8.5. And change this to 10. We'll change, what is this? Top cell inset, 2 pixels. Bottom cell inset, 2 pixels. What is that doing? Okay, so that's like the padding. I do want to have like a bit of padding. Okay. So I might need to organize these not by alphabetical order, but like two single line things. Two like so invulnerable should go next to aggressive. It's gonna be annoying to do. Is this worth doing? Table options. Split cell vertically. Nope, not like that. And the danger with tables is like you have to press W to like hide and show things, or V to like move things, and like what a lot of times I'll have something selected, it'll replace it with a V or a W. So yeah. Cut. Paste. Cut. Paste. There we go. That's not so bad. All right, so let's grab a brawler. Cut. Paste. Cut. Paste. All right, so we're doing that. Okay, this is 2, this is 1. Why is this? Why is this acting that way? Why is it doing that? Center. Oh, okay, I just have to select everything and align center. And these should align bottom. There we go. And so we've got a 3 stack here. Well, scooch it down, put this one here. All right, we have another 3 stack here. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2. Okay, here's 1. I'll put it here. Cut. Paste. There we go. We have 2. Is this worth it, you guys? You guys tell me if this is worth it. Yep, thank you. Hey, Terry, good to see you, man. Ooh, I did have, what was the InDesign question? I had an InDesign question for you earlier. I don't remember what it was. That's unfortunate. What is this? Why is, uh-oh. X. Table options, delete table. There was a table inside that cell. I don't want to do that. What was the question that I had earlier, you guys? Global gutters. Yeah. Terry, is it possible to, like, whenever I make a new, like if I make a new text thing here, blah, 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 the gutters up here is always set to 12 by default. I'd like it to be 14. Is there a way to globally change the preference from 12 to 14 for the gutters? Let me know if you know what that is. All right, so how else can we take down the size here? We can take down the line height ever so slightly from 10 to 9.5. 9.5. We can take down this from 3 to 4. That should help a bit. Yep. The world is weird. Crazy times. Muted. I mean, the Shadowmancer does that a lot. So as long as it doesn't increase the action economy or give me something fiddly to track, like extra hit points or extra this, extra that, as long as it doesn't give me like more things I have to do, then yeah, I like it. I think it could be really cool. Like the shepherd gets their companion, but it doesn't take damage. You don't have to really track its damage or anything like that. Yeah, so I'll just keep that in mind for summoning and creating summoning abilities. From what I understand of like D&D 5.5, like the newest one, some of the summoning abilities are just like super duper busted. Yeah, I can summon 12 of these things, and each one of these can cast this spell, and that spell does this, and like, oh man, come on. And they all get their own action. Then each of those actions, you need to make a to hit roll, and then you have to make a to hit roll after. You have to make the damage roll after the to hit roll, and then you have to compare that against the AC. And no, thank you. So Nimble, I summon a minion. He dealt 2 damage. I attack the minion. He's dead. I don't have to write anything down. I don't have to have any overhead or anything like that. I definitely have strong opinions about that kind of thing. Okay, so we have one too many things here. So which one of these is either unfun or unnecessary? Which one of these is unfun or unnecessary? I think we might have this one twice. Oh. Acid Blood? No, it's a little bit different. Hates the light, attacks the hero holding light, invulnerable, immune to damage until crit. Faster movement deals extra damage after moving toward an enemy. That's cool. Ooh, obstinate. I like this one. Obstinate is a cool word. Okay. Attacks, silence. So it looks like all of these. Legendary stat block plus. One of these has like extra space at the top. So if we reduce the top padding, that might help a little bit. Top cell inset. Aggressive? Yeah, aggressive isn't that great. What is it? One D&D summoning spell was just made into an AoE damage spell in 5.5. Okay. Yeah. You can change your place so there are one line on the left, one line. Which one? Change which places? Let's see. Okay, 1, 1, 1, 1. These are good. These are good. These are good. Those are good. This one has 2. Okay, retaliate and savage. Let's cut that. Paste this. Cut that. Paste this. I think I did it again where I pasted a whole table instead of 2 options. delete table, paste it in there. There we go. Okay. But we still have one too many. Which one should we cut, you guys? Maybe hates the light. Let's put a PCs manipulated. Climbing? Yeah, maybe climbing. Yeah, let's get rid of climbing. Climbing's not that interesting. Edward is never wrong, right? Copy, cut. Delete row. Climbing is just not super interesting. There we go. Do we have anything with 2? 1. Okay, let's cut this. And we'll put it here. We'll cut here. Put it there. There we go. Okay, guys. We did it. We do have a little bit of space, so maybe we can increase the padding here just a smidge. Okay, let's increase it from 1 to 2, 4 to 5. Let's see if we still have the space. That was just a little bit too much. So we'll have to do this. So we'll do 1.1.6 and then 4.6. There we go. That works. All right, guys, let's move on from this terrible page. Oof. And it's a nice page, but like... Your Kickstarter add-on bill goes up? All right. I mean, assuming you can afford it. All right. Doom might be a little too punishing for a random monster. Maybe. You could just pick a different one, though. Attacks also win the target or parry. You could just parry, you know, roll a 12. It's their fault for being there, you know. Yeah, so we're gonna use Titans for that. So that there's Titan stat blocks. One monster, multiple stat blocks. So like each of the tentacles is gonna be a stat block, and then the Kraken proper, the mouth, is gonna be a stat block. And each of the tentacles is a gigantic thing. It can do things. Okay, guys. So I just saw another one. Let's move this one here. Cut this one. Boom. Here. We'll just say can push or pull enemies. Okay, do we have any others that are not lined up well? Like this one. Explosive death. Cut. Paste. Cut. Paste. All right. Actually, now we can maybe bump that up. Yeah. Can we bump it up again? Yeah. All right. So we got a little bit more of a nicely spaced out table. All right. Let's. Ooh. Don't want London to catch that. Sneak and shifty can also be tweaked. I might have done that. Sneak and shifty. Yeah, I might have. These lined up now. Nice. All right, yeah. Tables are tough, man. I tell you that much. All right, let's keep cooking just a little bit longer. So I'm happy with all of this. Yes. Happy. I'm not happy with this art. I want this to be a different piece of art. It should be like an adventure-y kind of thing. Do I have any good art for that? New art. Icons. Do I have any good art for that? Adventuring. I want to reuse a piece of art that's already in here. So here's a piece of art. Here's one of the original arts for the cheat, and I ended up not using it. I think the quality is just a little bit low, but I like the pose. I think it's like has a lot of, it's got a lot of flavor and a lot of like personality. It feels like very 80s coded, but there's a piece of art that I commissioned and never ended up using for the cheat. There's a lot more where that came from. I'll tell you that much, guys. All right, let's go to new art and see if there's anything cool in here. Something for adventures. Ooh, what if we use this one? Would this be a cool one? Not that one. Not that one. This one. What about this one? That might be a nice piece for here. Let's see. All right, let's undo that. Drag it in here. Right, undo that. We'll drag it out here. I mean, who doesn't want more dragons in their life, you know? That might be cool. Let's open this up. This is a piece from Anna Giovanni. Let's grab the group here. Drag it in. And you know what we could do, guys? You know what we could do? You know what we could do? There's something we could do. Let me show you what we could do. Okay, so Photoshop has a cool thing where you can select the subject automatically. You don't have to like fiddle-faddle with like selecting all around everything perfectly. So it'll usually get close enough. So I'm gonna duplicate that. And I can say this. Maybe we can have like just this part sort of sticking out maybe. Let's add a, oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. You guys can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. No such thing as too many dragons. Yeah, you want to go beat this guy or help this guy or whatever he needs. If he needs beating or helping. So what if we did that? Let's see what that looks like. Save that. Drag it in. So we don't need everything to have like some sort of like textured, textured stressed, thing. Let's refresh here. Bam. Let's see what that looks like, guys. It's kind of cool. Then we can do this, and we can do same as clipping, change that to alpha channel. And now, alpha transparency, increase this a bit. Does that feel more epic? Adventure on? Adventure on. Miso for some reason? No, I like the name. I like the name. I think that's an improvement. I think that's an improvement. All right, Earl, been replaced. Anna Giovanni. Good job, Anna. And then we can increase. We can scooch this over, actually. Let's see, window, info. Let's see how many PPI we have to work. Okay, so actual PPI is 300. So effective PPI of 599 means I can make this like roughly twice as big, and it'll still be good. So what if we? So what I'm trying to avoid, I don't want anything important to be here. I don't want anything important to be like within this area. Ooh, not there. I want anything important to be in this area. This is where the center of the book is going to be. It's going to be folded, so you won't really be able to see this all that well. So I wouldn't like have his like face here. That would be bad. I kind of like that. Yeah, that's an improvement. Things with Earl the Dragon. Looks like an Earl to me. Yeah. Yeah, Creator's Grid is available. As a solo designer, love. Yeah, all right, definitely. Yeah, and we're supporting solo play in the new thing also. You sure the artwork could be used in the next print of the game master guide? It's not ready yet. It's might be the thumbnail that's there today, or it might be the thumbnail that was there yesterday. So it might be either one of those thumbnails. Oh, she just got. She's went to the dentist. There's not a detail on that wing that is next to the text. Maybe mirror it. I think that's okay. I mean, like, it's a little bit painterly, whatever. Okay, we got that. We like that. We need to adjust the adventure still, but everything up to there is good. We need to change the thank you page and all that. The best area is good. I want a different piece here because this is I'm using this for an adventure. So I want a different piece for that. Let's see if we have a different piece. Let's flip through our art real quick. See if we have anything cool. Let's see if we have anything cool. It has to be vertical. The problem is a lot of the art that I get is like horizontal. Let's see if Eshot has any cool things. I don't want to use like a kind of monster that's not in the GM guide. I just want like a generic like monsters thing, you know? It has to be like a scene, you know? It has to be a scene, not just like an individual piece of art, like a spot art. I'm just flipping through art, you guys. Bear with me. Icons, Jason. Oh, look at this! Look at this great bugbear. I love this bugbear. It looks like he's yelling at one of his friends, like "Get over there! Quit messing around, you loud!" Like he looks like he's doing that. Maybe do I have a different, just a drawer piece that could work? What would it be nice to like this was the original piece that I was going to use for. This was the original piece I was going to use for the Monsters and More cover. Would it be nice to use that one? That's a nice one. Monsters or bestiary. We want something for the bestiary. It has to be a full scene and not just a spot art. We're using that piece already. Let's see if Mr. Karim has something cool. There are some pretty cool pieces in here, but I don't know if they fit for a bestiary. I mean, this one's kind of cool for bestiary. That one's kind of cool. That creature isn't in the bestiary, so I don't want to give. I mean, neither were like the ogres chasing the mage. So maybe that one could be nice for the cover of the bestiary. Like, oh look, it's a monster. And then there's like some ferrets down at the bottom. Do you guys have any strong opinions yet? Or I do have like a big piece like this. Can you guys see this one? This is too big. Got a big piece like this where like there's this monster. So like there's spiders like climbing, and then like there's this dragon who's like spooking these dudes. Maybe that one. That might be cool. I think all of those are spot art. Noah, Peter, Santiago. All right, what do you guys think? Any of those? Any of those? The one with the deer and the dragon myself? The deer and the one in the ice? Yeah. Maybe that for the adventure and on in the... I don't know what that means, sanity. Maybe that for adventure on and the dragon for the bestiary. Which one? I don't know. Just like a zoologist is a zoologist and not a zoologist. This piece of art, I'm wanting to replace this one here. I'm going to replace that one. Just because it's going to be used elsewhere, and it's not really a great fit. But in the first run through, we didn't have quite as much budget to work with or art pieces. Let's see if we can. Let's grab one of these. I think one of these is going to be not that one. Let's see how you guys like this one. I'll pull it in, and then you guys can tell me what you think. And I know you can't see. Just give me one minute. I feel like we can't quite see enough of this. Like this one is too big of a panoramic, beautiful panoramic thing. But like I'd like to see like the spiders over here, and yeah, that one's not gonna work. Maybe is it this one? Not that one. I think this one. Where is it? Down further. Where is it? Where is it? I lost it. There it is. I was just going too fast. Yep, I think this one is going to be the one we're going to use. Get rid of that. Nope, nope. Get rid of that. I think this is the one we're going to use. I think we need to flip it, object, transform, flip horizontal. We can move this down here. Maybe we can do a little bit of that. What do you think about that? It's still loading, so like it's just a little bit pixely, but because it's still sort of loading into RAM or whatever. You like this one? Design, hey. What's the stat block for those ferrets? 1d for minions. D6 if they're fighting something bigger than them. I think we want to object transform flip horizontal. I think it did look better this way though. Yeah. A little bit spooky, not too spooky. And let's get the artist name. This is Karim Bayet. Copy. Gotta get them artist credits in there. Okay. We will change it from this to paper. Okay, that's not too distracting. It's a little bit distracting. Change the opacity down just a smidge. Is that better? It's still pretty distracting. Oh, what did I change the opacity of? Change the opacity of something. That's probably not enough. There we go. We want to be able to see it, but not for it to be distracting. Okay. I think this needs to scooch just a bit so we can see them ferrets. All right, guys, I'm happy with that. Framed well. Agree, it looks nice. I think it stabs. Look at the dragon. Ah, hello, dragon. Yeah. Yeah, little ferret family in the corner. There you go. Just ask Zav. As I'm making my own system and setting, I would like to know what mistakes to avoid. Man, a lot of them. There's a lot of mistakes to avoid, an infinite amount of mistakes to avoid. But just start making it and then like share it with people, and like they will tell you very quickly what's a mistake. The trick is learning which feedback to listen to and which feedback to ignore. Yeah. Okay, guys, let's keep going. Let's keep going just a little bit. Oh, we got new goblin art. Look at that. I love this piece. Like, yeah, that feels like a goblin. I like the bandit art, but I feel like it's too small. So that's my one problem with the bandit art. I feel like it's too small. Maybe we could do something like that. Is that better or is that worse? I don't know if it's better. Okay. We're happy with most of these. We still have to put these in. I'll do that later. I do need to get some better art for Pudge and Kellebec and Poppy. All right, guys. I think I might call it there. Let's see if there's any other cool chat things you guys, any questions you guys want to chat about. and then we'll wrap it up. Because like once I can feel my focus sort of starting to shift, it's snack time. I need to get some lunch, I think. Yeah. Goblin's weapons, frame, and separate the two sections. Yeah, cool. Glad you noticed that. Yeah, you do have to make the mistakes. Like you just have to sort of get in there. Yep. Yep. Don't get set on like one idea. Originally, you didn't have the rights to use the artist stamps. When did that change? Yeah, so sort of like so there's something called fair use. So like if you see any of what's that one guy, Pointy Hat, he'll use like clips from movies and clips from this and clips like just things from pop culture, and that's fair use. You're able to like reference things and show things and that kind of thing. So in the first video, I just grabbed just art that I found, just used it in a video in a similar manner. But once I was making my own book, my own content, I needed to purchase art. Like once I started to sell it, I needed to purchase it. I had the rights to it. So I reached out to the artist. Hey, can I use this art in my thing? He never responded to me. He never got back to me. Just never heard back. So I just commissioned my own art. So that was why. I like where Stabs ended up better now anyway than the first thing. But I kind of had a nostalgic place in my heart for the first one that I found because that was a pretty cool one. But yeah, that was the story behind that. Okay, guys. So the rest. So later today, I'm gonna keep going with the GM guide, and then hopefully Tuesday I'll finish it. I feel like I get less done while I'm streaming, but the quality is higher because I get a lot of feedback. So I think I'm just gonna have to power through. I'm just gonna have to muscle through. I feel like I'm just gonna have to muscle through doing the adventure and some of these other things. I'm waiting on some art still. But there's a lot of adventure, so it might be another couple of days until I'm able to get the GM guide out. So what I might do, I might just go ahead and finish the heroes tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the plan. I'm gonna just hop to the heroes tomorrow. Do the layout of the last 4 classes. The first few classes are already laid out well enough. There's gonna be some things changing, but the first 7 classes are laid out well enough to where I can just send them to people as like a first draft to get feedback on the subclasses. In the last 4 classes need to be laid out and the new subclasses edited and added to them, and then I will be able to send those out this week. So we'll have the updated core rules, the heroes, and the GM guide. That's sort of like the least important of the 3 to have out immediately. Because the heroes need a lot of playtesting. The heroes have a lot of moving parts, and the GM guide is mostly just like adventures and stuff, and it doesn't have a lot of moving parts, or a lot of parts that need to be balanced at least. Okay, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We got the plan. We got a plan. We know what we're gonna do. Now we just have to execute. We just have to do it. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody.